The first ones to point out something wasn't right were actually Ushijima's teammates. The practice with his new team was no less difficult than back in Japan, but he wasn't one to complain about that. Sure, there was still some language barrier, but nothing he couldn't take head on. However, the last 2 days were, simply put, strange. As if his skin didn't belong to him, and even getting up in the morning was more difficult than it should be. He didn't think too much of it, since it was spring and some tiredness was expected, so all was going to be fine eventually, right? Well, as it turned out, not so much. The spiking drill had just started, and he already felt like after hours of training. His whole body ached, making it difficult to focus on the ball right in front of him. Still, he pushed through despite part of him wanting nothing more than to lay down and stay without movement, but the practice wasn't going to finish itself. He sent less than mediocre spike over the net and staggered upon landing, the only thing preventing him from falling being the several arms catching him just in time. "Whoa there. Careful, big guy." Ushijima nodded, embarrassed over the lack of control he had over his body that day. "I will be, thank you." He tried to stabilize himself to continue with practice, but the moment he leaned down under the net, his head spun violently, making him stagger again. "Are you okay?" "Yes, I just..." "Akatoshi, come here for a moment." Ushijima blinked, still not quite used to the use of his first name on a daily basis. He met with their coach's concerned gaze and bowed his head a bit, which he immediately regretted as pain shot through his skull. "Yes?" The coach took him by his shoulders and led him a bit aside so the others could continue practicing. "Are you feeling alright? Others told me you seemed off since you got here today, and I can definitely see it too." It took much longer than it should for Ushijima's brain to translate everything properly. "I'm alright. I suppose I'm just tired." "Are you sure? You have to say it if you don't feel well." "It's nothing serious, really. I can finish practice." The man sighed. "Don't be stubborn. You'll just make it worse if you don't rest up. You almost fell during that last spike, so I highly doubt it's nothing. We need you in matches, and if you overdo it, you'll miss more than if you have a rest now." Ushijima wanted to protest further, but a sudden hit of exhaustion made him reconsider. In the end, he knew he should listen before the coach would sit him on bench forcibly. He still needed to sync with the team properly and prepare for the upcoming matches, but on the other hand... The coach squeezed his shoulder, smiling at him reassuringly. "What do you say you take a day off today and see how it goes? Tomorrow's a free day, so how about you take it slow and let me know how it looks like tomorrow evening." Defeated, Ushijima nodded, wincing when the pain shot through his head again. He knew better than to argue with a coach, especially about something he couldn't win. "I will make sure to get back as soon as possible." "Take proper care of yourself first, okay? We need our best spikers in good health. All of them." Ushijima bowed and went to collect his things. He got a few get-well-soon wishes along with some supportive taps on the back, and one of his younger teammates even helped him get his things from changing room and offered to accompany him home, just in case, which he gratefully accepted. It all made him realize how grateful he was for signing with a team like this. Despite being a newbie, Everyone already took good care of him. His head started to hurt more and more along the way, and by the time he opened the door of his flat, he could barely stand. He no less than sagged on the couch, taking a long moment to catch his breath and calm down his racing heart. His skin burned up under his palms, reminding him of the time when he got feverish as a kid after running around in rain. His mother was furious back then, but still cooked him soup and changed the wet towel on his forehead until he got better. But now he was alone. I guess it's good they noticed in time. He pushed himself up, his muscles and joints protesting against the motion. He contemplated whether he should make himself something to eat first or go straight to bed when his phone rang. It took him embarrassingly long to accept the call. Hello, darling. How are you doing? I didn't call you into practice, did I? Ushijima hummed, relaxing upon hearing his boyfriend's voice, before the call reminded him of an unfortunate fact. No, I'm already home. I had to finish earlier today. Did something happen? You sound tired. Coach sent me home to rest. I might have gotten sick. Oh no, my poor sweetheart. Did you catch cold? Maybe flu given the symptoms. I'm so sorry, Satori. I don't think I'll be able to visit you this weekend. Oh no, don't be sorry for that. It's not your fault. You need to rest now, so you can smash it in the matches later. Is there someone to take care of you? I don't want to trouble anyone. I can manage. It's not that bad. You sure? You know it's always better to ask for help. It's really not that serious. I'll just try to sleep it off. He could hear Tendo humming quietly on the other end as if he was deep in thought. Alright then, but promise me you'll rest until you are well again. I promise. Should I call you in the evening? Oh, no, focus on sleeping, okay? Alright. Talk to you tomorrow then. Of course. Get well soon, dear. Sighing, Ushijima rubbed his eyes. He felt bad for cancelling their plan, but he didn't want to make Tendo sick too. He glanced towards the kitchen, but just the thought of eating made him nauseous. Shivers ran through his body then, the whole flat suddenly feeling cold. And so he collected himself enough to change and draw the curtains before he collapsed in bed. He didn't get sick often, even when younger, but harder the occasional sickness hit him nowadays. Especially now that he was alone and could only lay in bed and hope it will go away soon. How he wished Tendo was with him. He was unsure how long he lay in bed trying to fall asleep, but it felt like ages. The headache was getting worse by minute, and the ache gripping his whole body kept him awake the whole time. At least the light was no longer attacking his eyes through the crack in the curtains, the only indication of passing time. He groaned quietly, gritting his teeth against the pain as he squeezed his eyes shut to try falling asleep again, when ringing of doorbell jolted him fully awake. Who can want something now? He thought briefly about ignoring the unexpected guest, but his mother's scolding voice made him get up and make his way to the door, still huddled in the blankets. He opened and froze in place. Surprise! Satori? What are you... I thought... Tendo grinned innocently and kissed his cheek. Well, since you couldn't come visit me, I thought I could visit you. I can't let my miracle boy suffer alone now, can I? Ushijima blinked in confusion, automatically moving to the side to let his boyfriend in. I don't understand. I'll explain, but now hush back to bed. I'm sorry I had to get you up, but I have no idea where you hide the spare key, if you even have one here. Come on, let me help you back and then I'll make you something to eat, okay? Ushijima just nodded, too overwhelmed by Tendo's sudden appearance and the air of organized chaos he always brought with him to protest. And so he let Tendo lead him back to bed, all of his strength spent on walking to the door and back. Soft kiss landed on his forehead, after which Tendo scrunched his face a bit, replacing his lips with his hand. Seems higher than I would like. Do you have a thermometer around here? The second drawer, on the right. The beep pierced his ears, followed by a hum of clear concern. Yeah, no wonder you feel like crap. Good thing I got here so soon. Do you need anything besides water and some soup? Another blanket, please. Tendo ran off again, bringing back 2 more blankets and a glass of water. Ushijima sighed as he slowly sipped the cool liquid, leaning into the touch when Tendo cupped his cheek. Oh, my poor miracle. It will get better soon, you'll see. I'll take care of you until you are healthy again. Thank you. But please be careful. I don't want to infect you. Tendo smiled at him, carefully wrapping him in another layer of blankets. No worries. Now try to sleep, okay? I'll make you some tasty meal. I bet you haven't eaten anything since morning. Before he could leave, Ushijima stuck his arm out of the blanket nest and caught his hand, squeezing weakly. I'm glad you are here. He could swear he saw Tendo blush a little in the darkened room. I know you would do the same for me. I'm just doing what a good boyfriend should. Now rest, okay? I'll be back soon. Despite feeling absolutely exhausted, Ushijima followed Tendo with his gaze until the tall redhead disappeared behind the corner, a pleasant warmth replacing the cold around his heart. Now that he wasn't alone anymore, the sickness didn't seem so bad.